Covered from every angle, what happened, reaction, and how they captured the killer.
This is still a developing story. In fact, that suspect arrested just moments ago. More on that in a moment. But first of all, it all began here at 1604 South Irving Avenue in South Scranton early this morning. Let me show you some video of the crime scene taken throughout the day today. Again, police got a 911 call just before 7 a.m. that there were 3 dead people inside this house. When they got here, they found 3 people, 20-year-old Justin Barrios, 22-year-old Dustin Hintz, and 16-year-old Leslie Collier. They were all dead in the house. We're not saying how they died. We do understand gunshots may have been involved. There were also 4 other people inside the house. They were spared, investigators say. They were bound and gagged. 4 people were found. One of them were able to wiggle free of their binds and call police 911. And then a search began for 25-year-old Randall Rushing. Rushing, they say, was the killer. He was picked up in Wilkes-Barre at about 4:30 this afternoon. My I-Team partner Mike Trim is live in Wilkes-Barre. He joins us now live with that part of the story. Mike, what can you tell us what happened?
Well, Andy, I'm standing on High Street in the Heights section of Wilkes-Barre, and behind me there's a white house where people are standing in front of. That's where Rushing was arrested at about 4:30 this afternoon. Let me show you video of when police apprehended him. Randall, why'd you do it? There you go. That is Randall Rushing being arrested. And he was talking to reporters. You can see he's laughing as he's being led to the police car. Now, you can see also video is going to come up of FBI, local state police at the man's house that he was caught at. It's not clear what his connection to this house is, but we can tell you that a car that he ditched here on High Street led police to the crime scene. It led to an all-day search. You could see helicopters in the air. You're going to also see cars, state police troopers on the ground searching for Rushing. Here's what the Luzerne County District Attorney said as far as help from all the FBI, ATF, and agencies.
I believe it was the severity of the crime because there were 3 individuals who were killed. All law enforcement in the area offered their help, and we agreed to accept the assistance.
Back here in Wilkes-Barre, we're told Rushing was taken to the Scranton Police Department where he will be booked, and of course he'll be arraigned later tonight. We are all over this story, and Andy, I'm going to throw it back to you now.
Okay, Mike, thank you. As you can well imagine, this neighborhood in South Scranton really on edge all day long today, wondering what happened inside this house again at 1604 South Irving. My colleague, Eric Dable, has been here all day long. In fact, you were one of the first on the scene. Lots of emotion here today, a lot of disbelief.
Andy, shock and sadness are really the 2 key words that fill this South Scranton neighborhood tonight. Shock and sadness because 3 people who lived in this community are now dead. Again, Justin Barrios, Dustin Hintz, and Leslie Collier. A lot of their friends, their family, have shown up here to the scene throughout the day, and we spoke with them. As the rain poured down, the friends of 16-year-old Leslie Collier held rosaries, holding out hope. Shortly thereafter, they learned Collier, who was going into his junior year at Scranton High School, was murdered.
He's the best guy like you could ever meet. He helped you through anything, no matter what, no matter if it took away from him or not.
Friends comforted each other as best they could. Dan Price worked with Leslie at the New Life Baptist Church.
This is a rough area. There's a lot of people around here that are not easy to deal with.
Jose Barrios is the father of one of the 2 other victims, 20-year-old Justin Barrios. He was overcome with emotion after hearing the news.
My son is a nice guy. No troublemaker or nothing.
Barrios said his son grew up in West Side and vows to get revenge on the suspect, Randall Rushing, when he goes to prison.
But, like I say, they caught the guy, and they bring him to the county jail, and I say right in front, and your camera, I get in there somehow, and I get him, believe me.
Again, a sad situation here in South Scranton as 3 lives are lost. 4 other people survived, including a 2-year-old girl, 2 females, and another person, Cynthia Collier, who is 43, Andy. Again, the suspect is en route back here to Scranton to the police department, where he will be arraigned at some point later on tonight.
And there, guys, you know, as we tell the people at home, we found out just a short time ago that one of the women who survived, in their terms, spared by Rushing, was the sister of one of the murder victims.
That was Samantha Hintz.
Samantha Hintz, the sister of Dustin Hintz, and apparently Samantha had a relationship with Randall Rushing. That's what police are telling us at this hour. Again, Rushing now on his way back here to Scranton. He'll be arraigned on triple homicide charges later tonight. Our team coverage continues later throughout the evening. For now, Andy Mahalchik live in South Scranton along with Eric Dable. Drew and Candace, back to you.
You know, Andy, I can't imagine the horror stories those surviving victims must be telling the police tonight.
Well, that's right. In fact, we were trying to, first of all, the good news is they were not injured. Of course, they were shaken up, Eric, as the police chief Dave Elliott and the DA Andrew Jarbola told us. But again, apparently, can't even imagine being in that house, knowing that three people were, bad things were happening to them in the same house, and you're tied and gagged, you can't do anything about it, and then to finally free yourself and find the bodies, it's just a horrible situation. You can't even imagine what the nightmare they were living throughout the night last night.
Andy, did the police say anything at all about a possible motive?
Well, again, we were talking before, Eric, about this relationship, and that's what they think might have happened here.
Yeah, Samantha Hintz, one of the women who did survive, had a relationship with the suspect who is now going to be charged with the triple murder, and they don't know exactly how that factors in because it is so early in this investigation, but they're keying in on that right now.
And we also know, guys, that all of the people, including Rushing, lived in this house you see behind us, 1604. And neighbors told us last night, again, they heard some popping sounds. Again, police are not saying they were shot to death or beaten to death, just saying that it was a gruesome sight indeed, but they all lived in this house for at least some time. Randall Rushing lived in the basement, and something happened last night or in the last couple of days to trigger some kind of a release of emotion and anger. And again, so say police, and the murders happened sometime overnight or early this morning. Drew, Candace, back to you.
Okay, Andy, thank you.
Thank you.